Hey folks, welcome back. So, yeah, it just wouldn't be me unless I forgot to do something, you know, so I kind of got overweight here and lost my brains. And I totally forgot to get the word shout that I, you know, worked so hard for, and was totally spaced on even getting it. So you're probably wondering what Animal Allegiance is all about. Guys, that's a pretty fun shout. Now, you have to make sure you have at least 3 shouts in the bank for Solstheim. So, you know, that being said, you know, yeah, it's fun. You can actually just, like, shout, you know, a bear or something, and it'll kind of come to your aid and fight for you. So it's pretty cool to have. It's pretty cool to play with. But again, just make sure that you don't run yourself too low on Dragon Souls. Don't drop below 3. So if you've got more than 3 at this point in the game, and, you know, you want to play with something like that, absolutely feel free to spend your Dragon Soul. The good thing, too, is we're going to be getting more dragons. Now, the reason I say go to Solstheim with at least 3 Dragon Souls is because it can be glitchy, just like everything else in this game. And sometimes Mirak will, you know, get all glitched out, and he won't let you take any of the Dragon Souls for like a really long time, if even ever any at all. Some people get so stuck in that loop, they have to reload a prior save before they even went to Solstheim to make sure that they have 3 Dragon Souls in their inventory before even going there. So yeah, long story short, guys, you know, that can just be a big problem. Don't drop below 3. Okay, so now I've got my shout, so I'm going to go right back over here to where we left off. Alright, folks, one other thing that I forgot to talk about, and that dragon priest that I killed a couple of videos ago, that would have been a perfect opportunity to talk about the potions for marksmen. So, you know, I keep talking about outpacing our leveling with our damage output, and this is another way you can do that. So 49% more damage. Now, I literally just crafted this with my smithing or my alchemy gauntlets on. So, you know, I can get that potion a lot better if I, you know, have more articles of clothing for alchemy. But, you know, for right now, that is not a bad deal. And guys, it's ingredients we've already got. It's juniper berries, it's elf's ear. You can even use, God, I can't even remember the other ones. I don't use the other ones. Oh yeah, spider's egg is one. And canis root, that's the other one. So because I like to use those in better selling potions. So, you know, for archery, I'll kind of hold back and just use the elf's ear and the juniper berries. Excuse me. Alright guys, so we are going to do that whole Nettelbane. Excuse me. Guys, I'm telling you, hiccups. Without fail. Alright, so yeah, we're going to be doing the Nettelbane deal. Orphan Rock here, and this isn't it. This is just kind of like the first stop in our quest. Beyond that, we're going to be going kind of way out here somewhere, and I think that's actually it. Or it's somewhere around there. You know, that may not be it, but we'll find out here momentarily. Alright, so for right now, Nettelbane. This is quite a bad boy nest, guys. So what I would recommend doing is go ahead and pop a Flame Astronaut. We've got witches here, and we've also got a Hograven here, and that Hograven, that thing has that fireball attack that really will knock it out of you. Looks like my follower's just going right for it here. I've already got the red lighting up. Okay, the Hograven is right up there. That's not the Hograven, that's another witch. That's the Hograven, that great big fireball that just whizzed right past my head. And the bad thing about that fireball is it's got a blast radius to it. For that disregard. I was going to go ahead and put my boots on for flame resistance, but that ain't going to happen. So there's actually another thing I totally forgot to do on my last video. When I was in Whiterun, here I'll talk about that after combat's over. This Hograven demands some attention here. Oh, and I want to soul trap that thing, if I can. And it can keep healing, so you really just got to kind of keep plugging away at it. Okay, so Nettelbane was on the corpse of the Hograven there. There's actually quite a bit of looting to do here. So, you know, you got your free lootables, you got all this other fun stuff. Check, you know, what's sitting out here on the open on the table. If I can get my cursor to cooperate. Okay, now there's normally a taproot here. And again, you know, speaking of Solstheim, make sure you have at least 3 of those to go to Solstheim with as well. So 3 is the magic number for Solstheim. Alright, so yeah, I went back to Whiterun, and I was approached by the courier. Now this is something else that I've been meaning to talk about. It just happened to catch me, you know, when I wasn't actually recording, which is a shame. But, you know, you've seen the courier before, so, you know, he's going to give you a note after you use a shout. And since I've been using this, you know, throw a voice shout, that triggered that. So basically what happened was the courier came to me, and I got a letter from a friend. So once that happens, go ahead and open that, and it's going to send you to some random, you know, dungeon somewhere. And it's going to, you know, take you to a word wall where you can learn another shout power. So it's pretty cool. So basically, that's, you know, another part of the game. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but let's just say you'll be meeting some people, and, you know, you'll befriend them, and you find out later on that's who has been sending those notes to you. And that has to do with the dragons and stuff, so that's kind of why they linked that up the way they did. So yeah, you know, I don't always just, you know, go right out of my way and go get those. That's kind of like something I do when I'm just kind of in between stuff. You know, it's not a big rush to get to by any means. In fact, a lot of other, you know, times I'm already in the dungeon doing some other quest, and then, you know, I just happen to be there for that same shout power. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for free lootables here. Now, there are some stuff down here, but be careful down there. There's a couple of rune traps. In fact, I don't know if you can see that lighting up down there. I'll just take you down there. It's okay. I'll take a little damage for the team. It's for science. Okay, so yeah, you get close to that, that's what happens. And guys, see that damage. And there's more than one around here. So, you know, you get hit by one, you're like, okay, that sucked. But then you get hit by another, and that's game over. So just be aware of that. I always catch them out of the corner of my eye a split second before it's too late. So, yeah, you'll see me get hit by those frequently. I am actually going to warp away. But before I do that, I want to show you where there's a couple more free lootables. Okay, there's another rune trap. See, I'm real low on health. That could actually do me in if I hit that thing. And there's another rune trap right there. Oh. Okay, so yeah, I didn't even see it. I just happened to see my cursor light up there. Funny how that works out. Oh, I just talked about that too. Look at me go. That's okay. It was for science. Okay, now normally there's spike traps down here too. I'm not seeing the spikes. Or maybe I'm just tripping. Alright, either way, I am out of here. Quest marker is working here. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Whiterun. Alright, now sometimes this quest giver is standing around out here, but that's why I made sure my quest marker was on. Because sometimes they can be kind of tough to find, so if she's not out here, she's usually inside the chapel here. Alright, here she is. Go ahead and give her a quick talking to, tell her, whoops, tell her you found Nettelbane, and then she will open up the second part of our quest. And this is where we really have to take a bit of a hike here to get to it. Okay, now after you initiate that next phase of the quest, this guy's going to approach you. And guys, it's totally up to you. It doesn't harm the quest one way or another. But if you've never played Skyrim before, go ahead and take him with you. He has some things to say along the way. It's kind of fun to listen to him. Not only that, he gives you an idea when you get there. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and take him.
Might I travel alongside you?
And this does not affect your other follower, by the way. Now, this will not act like a normal follower. Yeah, he might help you in combat or whatever, but you can't get into his inventory or anything like that, so keep that in mind. But now, if you guys don't have this stuff unlocked, that's okay. You can always get a carriage to Windhelm and just travel due south. Now, either way you decide to go, careful, there's a dragon nest, I think, right here, which we are going to hit, by the way. And there's, you know, some other stuff going on around here, so just be aware, you know, that can be a bit hairy. So if you are going to do this route, you know, if you want to avoid some of that stuff, just go ahead and kind of follow the river here. Alright, folks, so back at our good old towers here. Now, I kind of cut video at this spot, you know, when I did that whole video. But, you know, there's always a method to my madness, guys. So, like, that was kind of in preparation for this video. And now we're kind of continuing from that point, and this is going to be preparation for another video. So yeah, we're going to hit Duckwater Crossing, which is like a mine village where the miners just kind of live there, and that's all that's there. You know, you won't find vendors or anything like that, but there's a couple little side quests that kind of deal with that area. Plus there's another followers, so honestly, these followers will kind of get on your nerves at some point. You know, they kind of start saying the same things, and they get repetitious, and you just kind of get tired of them. So what I would recommend is, you know, take a moment and just kind of, you know, hire different followers from time to time. In fact, there's a guy, and I think he sits at the Riften Bee and Barb, you know, the bar that's in Riften. And he's got like a yellow robe on or something, but man, he's freaking funny. He made me laugh a few times. So, you know, when my normal followers are just agitating me, I'll go pick him up for a while and just listen to his banter, and it's a good time. Okay, now there's a giant's nest here, and I'm gonna, you know, get that on the way. It's all about the soul gems, guys. As soon as I start getting my grand soul gems up, it is crafting time. And Papa needs a lot more attack power, and we are gonna get just that. Okay, and we should be almost right on top of him when we come over this ridge line here. I totally forgot to pop my flame astronaut, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. There goes Lydia. I hope he doesn't kill my second follower there. Looks like they got him. And he's actually got a sword. So, you know, he's not helpless. Wow, that was terrible loot for a giant. Terrible loot for a giant's chest. Man, this is starting to feel like a long throw in the other game. Alright, so get your charred skeever hide. I don't really think there's anything else here at this little nest. And it's just the one giant, I guess. So, yeah, better than nothing. It's a greater soul gem one way or the other. Alright. So just to kind of give you a map reference there where we're at. Okay, and I'm also going to hit another giant's nest, and it's actually just now starting to come into view on my compass there. But in addition to that, and I'm heading east, by the way, kind of straight toward that quest marker. But yeah, I'm going to hit this other spot. It's another mill, so when we start doing our home building, we'll have more options. Not only that, I really want to do the Companions quest soon. Just so you guys have a really good choice of different followers there. But guys, that's pretty it's a pretty extensive storyline. So, you know, that being said, what I might do is go start the Dawn Guard first. And guys, the Dawn Guard, that's a downloadable content type of deal. So right now you can, actually for a long time now, you've been able to get all 3 of the big DLCs. And that was Heath Heart or Heart Heath or something like that, where you can do the home building and, you know, marrying and kids. And then you've got the Dawn Guard quest line, which is what I'm talking about now for the vampires. And it's really fun. All of them are really fun. But yeah, in addition to Dawn Guard, then you've got the Dragonborn, which is that whole Solstheim deal. So guys, the reason I kind of wanted to spit all that out was in Breath of the Wild, I recommended wholeheartedly, you guys take, spend the 20 bucks, get all that downloadable content stuff. I was like, man, who is this dude? Is he attacking me? So yeah, and that was 20 bucks. This game, I think you can get all 3 of those downloads for only 10, and that varies. Sometimes it might be 15 or 20. But, or, sometimes the version of Skyrim you buy already has it coming with it. So, depending on the version you have, you may or may not be able to go do the Dawnguard thing with me, or you may or may not be able to do any of the home building with me. Alright guys, so for right now I am not going to, do anything with this mill. It is literally just for later reference. And of course I want my free lootables while I'm at it. But what I'm really here for is the giants. So just like the last nest, we're going to be right on top of these guys when we get up here. Where did he go? I just saw him moving around a second ago. It looked like he literally... almost looked like he despawned there. Really? It's okay, I need the souls. Try to focus on one at a time. That other one's already on me. It's about to get hairy. And he is too close for my comfort. I think I got lucky and he's stuck in that tree there. Sweet deal. So yeah, no mammoths at this one. Now there are mammoths in the area, just not quite at these camps I've just hit. This was more, it's just kind of on the way. A couple of quick soul gems. And we are out of here. So from here I'm just gonna really, hit my dungeon cave next. But before I do that, I just want to take a quick look around it. I'm getting that, it's like my tail is twitching from over the hedge. The amphibian. Or the reptile. One of my favorite movies of all time, by the way. That movie can still make me laugh. Dwindling Frost. Okay, that's my second piece now that I've come across with Dwindling Frost, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I'll disenchant one or the other depending on which one sells cheaper. Alright guys, that's it. Now you probably see that dragon flying around in my distance there. And that's that nest I was talking about, dragon nest. Maybe get a couple more soul gems filled up. There are some mammoths in the area. I want the grand soul gems filled. Giants, etc. Alright, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and get this. And we'll be able to warp back here, after the quest line is done. There's going to be a fight coming up, depending on how we handle this. And that's kind of why I recommended you guys bring that other guy with us. Maurice. Because he's, part of the quest line here. So it just gives us another option. So long story short, what you can do is either chop at the tree and just, harvest the sap. But then that kind of triggers an immune response from the cave, and you get attacked by Spriggans, which I don't think we've really come across yet in our game. They're not terrible, but they're pretty beefy. They're pretty tough to kill. So yeah, and anyway, the follower, that guy, Maurice, he will give us another option. He'll say, oh, don't do that, you're going to hurt the tree, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know, he does something with, that... He's able to harvest the seed, so you don't have to harm the tree, and that does not cause any kind of an immune response. And the reason I'm talking about that is because there's a couple of NPCs in here, so just keep in mind, if we trigger the immune response by, chopping away at the tree, The NPCs in here are going to die, the civilians or whatever. If we decide to get the seed, then, you know, the civilians get to live and there's no attack. And if you're wondering, the answer is no, it does not affect the quest one way or another. Either way, you're going to clear the quest and everybody will be happy. And I think that NPC that I just talked to is even kind of warning, look, don't use that here. Oh, there's some looting to do here. Some actual secret, well-hidden chests. The only way I know how to get up here. Ooh, gemstones. Alright, so that's it for top side. Now, down here in the water, you probably can already see all that hanging moss. And I am absolutely going to take the time to get all this hanging moss. Okay, so after you've got all your hanging moss, just simply, you know, take a trip over the waterfall, and then I'll get you back up next to this bridge here. Oh, and don't forget your bump book. That thing is very well hidden there. I totally forgot to grab that when I was doing my looting before we found the tree, so yeah. Reason being is that's how you're going to have to clear these vines out of the way of the roots. And don't worry, this is not going to trigger the immune response. This is just simply getting us up to the tree. Okay, now I got my quest marker lighting up. Now there are some more loose lootables here. Yeah, you definitely do. Ooh, carrying capacity, 40 points. I think the ones I'm wearing now are only 25. So this is awesome, guys. I can wear these and then disenchant the other ones in the meantime. Yeah. Really, really good find right there. That's a real good selling staff for a mage. It's really tough to carry 8 pounds of weight for something that's only going to sell for like 153. So when I see a good, strong selling staff, I get excited about that. Okay, so again, you know, just more loose lootables here. I'm going to take a moment and scoop them all up. Alright guys, so now once you've done, you know, finished all your free lootables here, be careful with picking the flowers around this tree. It's real easy, you know, for your cursor to accidentally slip over and activate the tree. And once that happens, that, you know, activates that immune response. Now, part of that immune response might be that extra follower we brought, that guy, and he might, you know, start attacking you, so just be aware of that. I am going to loot the tree. I just wanted to make it clear, you know, make sure you're really watching what that cursor icon is actually saying you're doing before you make a boo-boo there. In fact, you might want to even save the game here before you do all this. That way, just in case you do boo-boo, it'll be okay, and you don't have to do the entire cave and reload all your hanging moss all over again, as yours truly just found out. Okay, so now you might have noticed that dude just kind of, you know, stood back and he's not coming up. Go ahead and talk to him real quick.
I had no idea you were a woman of violence.
Okay, and this is where he's going to kind of warn you, you know, don't do it that way. I got a better way.
I'll have no... Well, it won't repair the tree back at the temple. Follow me. I think I can convince the tree to...
Okay, simply follow him up the hill. Okay, so he should do the rest. We don't even have to do anything at this point.
It was my pleasure, Fred. Good luck on your travels. May Kinnereth's wind carry...
Alright guys, so once you know, you can get through the dialogue with him however you wish. One way or another, you're going to be able to take the sapling. And that's it, folks. That's pretty much the cave.